looking at your growth, you're 150 people building a training organization, which is a hyper competitive space. Walk us through the journey. What was the first sale from your perspective for your own services or products? And then how did you go through, first 10 employees, 50 employees, 100 to where you are today?
Yeah, well, just to clarify, although you do see a lot of people that might be coded as affiliated with Sales Assembly on LinkedIn, we're actually a small organization. We have less than 10 people, 10 full-time employees, bootstrap company. Those people who you might see on LinkedIn, they're facilitators, different individuals that provide some level of value to Sales Assembly throughout the year, which we could unpack. But yet the genesis, the story of Sales Assembly, and credit to my business partner, Jeff, is actually his idea. But a lot of this came out from the fact that when we were both working for the startup that I mentioned before, one of the things that we intentionally did was we started hosting a monthly coffee meeting for the heads of sales, the other heads of sales of what at the time were early stage Chicago tech companies like G2 and Sprout Social and ActiveCampaign and Spot Hero and all these companies that have scaled to significant heights now. But back then, we were all just startups. So we would come together every month. We would talk with each other. What are you working on? What are you struggling with? How are you dealing with this? How are you dealing with that? And it didn't take us long to realize that regardless of the products that these companies sold or who they sold it to, all these sales leaders were always complaining about the exact same stuff. Right? So, a big part of the genesis was, why don't we start offering solutions to all these things you keep complaining about? So what we did legitimately was a few ideas on the back of a napkin and went to a handful of the people that were part of that group and essentially said, hey, if we built this, would you pay for it? And enough of them said yes. So we said, great. So we started building things. And then again, that just continues to snowball. And 8 years later, we're providing, as I mentioned, the skills training for a few hundred companies across the B2B tech ecosystem.